Today we will talk about Apple Car. I think you couldn't help but notice that more information about the Apple Car has appeared online over the past month and in the past year. Rumors, leaks, predictions, everything is mixed up. Therefore, it has become difficult to clearly separate one from the other. And most of the information is perceived either erroneously or through the prism of other information, which in general, is not very good either. But, most likely Apple is really considering launching its own car, because it is already negotiating production with major automakers. One of the enterprises that Apple sees as its main production partner for the release of Apple Car turned out to be the Korean Hyundai Motors. A representative of the automaker told about it, CNBC. He confirmed that Apple is negotiating with different companies, so it is still difficult to talk about concluding partnership agreements. Apple Car is said to be a real-life project that could be implemented in the coming decade. Despite the fact that Hyundai Motors did not name other automakers with whom Apple is trying to negotiate, it was definitely said that these are the largest brands with a world name. Therefore, the guys from Cupertino want to entrust production to a manufacturer who already has experience in car production, not wanting to do it on their own. We understand that Apple is negotiating with various global automakers, including Hyundai Motors. Since the discussion is in its initial stages, nothing has been decided yet. Hyundai Motors quotes a representative, CNBC correspondent, Steve Kopak. Apple's desire to seek help from well-known automakers was expected, since it doesn't have its own production capacity even to build an iPhone. It would be strange to count on the Cupertino boys to build their own factory somewhere in China, train Chinese teenagers, who barely graduated from school, and produce an Apple Car. Sounds ridiculous, so obvious. Apple's goal is not to occupy the car market, but to promote its other products. According to analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, Apple will release Apple Car no sooner than by the late 2028s. That is, it can take 7-9 years before the company's own car is released. It's a fair deadline for which a lot can change, and the guys from Cupertino may even change their minds. But apparently industry experts are determined. Some even predict the company's full transition to car production, citing the fact that it will only need to borrow 2% of the market to fully compensate for iPhone sales. But the car market is very different from the smartphone market, where there are in fact only iPhones, and everyone else. This trick won't work with cars, so it's quite difficult to count on Apple Car to borrow even 0.2% of the market. Apple Car will get a completely new level battery. Apple is preparing a new battery design that can radically reduce the cost and increase the car's power reserve. Apple creates a single-cell design that increases the volume of individual battery cells and frees up space inside the battery pack. This will allow the use of more active material in smaller packaging. Apple is also studying the chemical composition of the battery, called LFP, or lithium gallium phosphate, which is inherently less susceptible to overheating, and therefore safer, than other types of lithium-ion batteries. This is a whole new level. Remember how you felt when you first saw the iPhone? Apple will need to use a completely new supply chain to produce the car. Apple reportedly plans to rely on a car manufacturer's partner. Apple can use several types of LiDAR to scan the environment at different distances. The company can still decide to curtail the project and reduce its efforts to an autonomous driving system that will be integrated into another manufacturer's car. Apple is actively hiring employees to develop its own car. Now the company has a team of engineers developing a drive system, interior design, and the body of the car. At the end of 2020, Apple hired former Tesla Vice President Stuart Bowers. In addition, Jonathan Sev recently moved to Apple, Tesla engineer, BMW, and Waymo. He took over as a senior manager at Apple Car. Apple's electric car team is filled with dozens of former Tesla hardware and software engineers. In total, several hundred people are working on the project, a small hardware development team that deals with vehicle dynamics, transmissions, security mechanisms, and battery technologies. Its task is to rethink the interior of the car of the future, in which people will just drive, not drive. Ideally, the user will have to enter his destination and get to it almost without any involvement in driving. Apple's CPU development unit, headed by Joni Srouji, is also involved in creating an electric car. Since 2018, the Srouji team has been developing a special chip based on ARM, paying special attention to machine learning to ensure the correct operation of the autonomous driving system. In general, I can't imagine who the Apple Car is designed for. It's clear that electric cars are on high up now, and Apple wants to jump on the popularity train. But Apple Car is not the same as an iPhone, unless it costs the same money. After all, if Tesla Model 3, it costs around $40,000, in addition to which you have to pay another $10,000 for an autopilot. Obviously, the Apple Car will be at least no cheaper. Goldman Sachs analysts describe the only more or less logical scenario in which Apple Car has a place. This is Apple's desire to increase its influence in the service market through an autopilot machine. By letting the user not be distracted by the road, Apple would be able to offer him to watch TV series, listen to music, play games, and do much more. But you can only imagine how irrational it is, primarily because of the price of the Apple Car. So guys, it was all the interesting information about the Apple Car. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, click to bell. Siri was with you.